everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you these mixed media crazy canvas shoes that I made for my son. He really likes bright shoes, bright color shoes, these canvas ones that sometimes are made by Vans or different companies like that. I think that they might have originally been considered skateboard shoes, I don't know, but for a while there you could buy really brightly colored ones, bright orange, bright green, bright blue, and he just loves them. He goes through them pretty fast. He gets them dirty and they get worn really fast. And he really likes shoes. He likes to have different color shoes for different color outfits. It's just a thing. So this last Christmas, my mother and I went searching for bright colored canvas shoes, and there wasn't any. There wasn't. The best we could find was like a dark red. There wasn't any bright orange or anything fun like that. And so I had this idea that I would just create brightly colored shoes. But at Christmas time, I didn't get it done. But his birthday is in February, and so I decided to make some for his birthday. So I purchased these Levi's shoes, which are made out of canvas, and they are a dark blue color. And I got them at Ross, which is one of those places that has like shoes that, or well, all kinds of things that are kind of seconds or leftover things that hadn't been sold. So they only cost $19.98. So I figured if I completely messed it up, it wasn't going to be a big deal. I mean, yeah, it's 20 bucks, but still 20 bucks isn't 50 bucks, which some of these shoes can cost. And I've been seeing lots and lots of fun, interesting pattern shoes like in advertisements and things. And so I was planning on doing a drawing. I was going to draw on them, but I ended up using StencilGirl stencils instead because they are the perfect weight to wrap around, and it made it so quick. I finished these shoes in 2 hours, not including all this masking. Although some of the masking, I'm not sure anyway. This video is around 2 hours long before I sped it up, and I think I probably got done, in that amount of time. So really using stencils was the way to go rather than spending a lot of time painting and drawing, which is of course going to be more me, but I thought they turned out really cute, and StencilGirl stencils worked great for this. So the first thing I did, of course, was to tape off everywhere that I didn't want to mess up. And there was kind of this awkward suede patch near the heel that says Levi Strauss. It's like a brown suede. And I wasn't sure if I should paint that or not, so I ended up masking that. And then I put little pieces of masking tape all the way around the rubber soles of the shoe so that I wouldn't get paint all over those. And then I took some sticker sheet and I punched out some little round stickers and stuck them over the grommets. The bigger one at the top kept coming off, and so I ended up taking them off. The grommets are a enameled metal, so I knew that the acrylic paint wasn't going to stick to them in the end, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time unsticking it and cleaning it. So I put the little round stickers over it. Also, I felt that that would keep the paint from going into the shoe. So my first step was to use some super heavy gesso. And the reason that I did this is because I wanted a bright colored shoe, not a dark colored shoe. And the shoe was dark, almost black, a very dark navy color. And so I wanted to lighten that up first. Now, of course, this isn't rocket science, We paint on canvas all the time. We gesso canvas all the time, and these are just canvas shoes. The only awkward thing being that you've got to mask off areas which you wouldn't have to on a canvas. So my first round of doing gesso, I didn't do the tongues of the shoe. I thought that they would be inside, and I didn't really need to fuss with them. But at the end, I did end up painting them as well. So my second step after the gesso was to use some Decoart Media Fluid paints. These are highly pigmented paints. And I tried to pick colors that my son likes, which are bright orange, bright blue, bright green, purple. He likes those colors. And then also to pick the versions of the colors that were more opaque, because some colors are just more translucent than others, and that's the nature of artist pigment. And so then I got an artist sponge, which is an inexpensive way to stencil and to sponge things. They're perfect for this. And I cut it into quarters. They come as a round, um, kind of like a donut without a hole, like a Bismarck donut or something. Um, Cellulose stuff, and I just cut it into quarters. I will put just a link in the description box below to these sponges in case you want to try sponging with them. They work pretty well. Um, and then you can just wash the paint off at the end and you reuse them again. So my first color was cad orange, and then I moved to a cyan blue, and I'm starting on the lightest colors and moving towards the darker colors. So that's kind of always what you should do when you're doing something like this. And my edges in between the colors I'm not really happy with, but I didn't want to try to do a bunch of blending because of course if you blend green with orange you're going to get brown. I didn't want that, so I kept the sections separated. Then I used green gold, and then the last color is dioxazine purple, which I wished I had a little bit lighter color purple than this, but it worked out fine in the end. So I just made random patches around the shoes for this first layer, sponging on random shapes, basically covering the white gesso. And then where the seams between the colors are, where I think they look awkward, I took some titanium white and a sponge and just kind of sponged in between just to help with those transitions from one color to another. Of course, this is just the first layer, so it's not hugely important. I just felt like there was some awkward lines in between colors. So first layer done, and as I'm going, I'm cleaning off the grommets each time. I don't want to get a big coating of paint on the grommets. So then I got out a couple different StencilGirl stencils, circle circles, and I can't remember what this other one is, but I will look them up on their site and link them in the description box below. And my first idea was that I was just going to go back through the colors again and put stencil over with the same colors in different areas. But that first one that I did with the primary cyan was just like blah. It just did not look good. So I cleaned it off right away and touched it up. And then I was like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? Now, the most opaque color that there is, as far as artist pigment colors, is titanium white. And I wanted to bring in some lightness because I had now obliterated all the white gesso. So I decided to go ahead and stencil a layer of the titanium white. So I tried that out and I was really happy. And see how well it goes over it? It's completely opaque. So it works great for this. And so I was just taking that stencil circle and going around different areas of the shoes and using the titanium white on the sponge. And that looks great, I think. I like it. That's like probably the best use of that stencil I've ever made of it. I think it looks great. I didn't want to do the whole shoe with circles. I wanted to use a lot of different symbolism. I wanted it to be very graphic looking. So I used the other stencil as well and just took sections of it. It has a lot of marks on it, like dots and lines and dashes and X's, and then it has a few words as well. And I really need to find out what that stencil's called. I will put it below, I promise. So I just went around all over the shoes, and I'm putting my hand inside. I'm flipping and flopping so that I can get the stencil pressed against the shoe. If the stencil had been made of a heavier plastic, like some of them are heavier than these, it would have been difficult to do this, but this is a durable material, but it is also thin and very bendy. So I can really get a good, I can round it well enough that I'm getting it against the shoe, even though the shoe is an awkward shape. So this worked out great. I was actually very happy with it, and I potentially could have just left it there like that because I thought it looked good, but uh, too much white for a boy who's, stomping through mud puddles and, you know, snow and slush where he is at. So that wasn't going to work. I didn't want to leave that much white on there, even though it looks good. So that was layer. Let's see. We had the gesso layer, then the color luster layer, then the white luster layer. So that's 3 layers so far. And I'm going to end up putting a 4th and 5th layer on as well. So once I was happy with the titanium white layer, I decided to go back in with color again. So I still have my sponges and my colors out on my palette, still pretty wet, and I decide to use them to go back through the stencil again in areas where it's very light colored, and color them back down again, because now I've put the light color in. Now I'm going to go back over again. Of course, it doesn't completely cover up all the white. I didn't want that. I want it to look, like there's a lot of layers. And I start to use some of the words inside, in disguise, change, so the words that are on the stencil as well. And using the why can't I speak? The circle stencil to go back over in areas where I had used the circle stencil and make it like slightly offset. And I thought that that looked pretty good. Also, where there was big patches of white where the circle stencil had been, I went in with some different colors dots, because there's a lot of different dots and dashes on the stencil, and put, like maybe it was the green, maybe it was the orange, maybe it was the blue, but I was using all the colors, and I kind of went from lightest to darkest, except for I did start with that one dark purple to begin with, but then I went to the orange, and then I went to the green, and then I went to the blue, and then I went back to the purple, going back through the layers again, and it's looking even more cool. I think they're great. I would totally wear these shoes. I hope he does not think that they're too crazy. I don't think that he will. I think he'll really be into it, but you never know with teenagers what they like and what they don't like. You just don't. So I did this with both the shoes. I think I decided I needed a little bit of green here and there on that one. And then moving on to the other one. I didn't want the words to be like what you see first. Like that's an inclination of people to see letters or words or things that they can identify easily first. I wanted it to be part of the design, and I'm not sure that that necessarily worked in the end, because when I took them downstairs to show people, they're like, oh, what does that word say? That's the first thing they said. So I think I kind of failed in using the words as part of the graphic design, but I did my best. In one case, on one of the shoes, one of the words is backwards because the stencil was turned over on the other side. And then my mom sat there and tried to figure out what that word was backwards for the longest time. So I don't know if I should have just maybe not used the words at all. So then this is when I decided that I really needed to paint the tongues, because the tongues were so dark behind the opening of the shoe, and it could show. I mean, it's the inside of the shoe, but yet it could still show. So I painted both of the tongues with gesso, and then I went back over and did some sponging of the color. And I had to put the paper towels around and tuck them inside so that I wouldn't get the paint on the other part of the shoe. This was a pain in the tail, I tell you what. It was not fun. And then I did the same thing. I went in with the white, and then I went back in with some color and basically made them the same type of a look as the rest of the shoe, so that if the shoe is open or unlaced, or part of that is showing through, it still looks the same as the outside. I wasn't super careful, but I did make it the same-ish, so that it would blend in with the shoe. And once all that was complete, then I set them aside for a little while to dry. Um, the shoes are very absorbent, and it really did. I didn't spend a lot of time drying. I didn't get out my heat tool and try to dry or anything. So then I went around and I removed all the little circles off the grommets, and removed the masking tape from that one weird suede leather patch. You can see the grommets are nice and white. Once I wiped them down with the baby wipe, that came right off. So um, that worked well as far as the grommets remaining white. I wanted them to remain white. I didn't want them to get painted because I just think that's part of the way a shoe looks, is to have those circles on the top. So that one I was having a little bit of trouble getting the stuff off, but it comes off. So there's where I'm removing the masking tape over the patch at the back. And then I removed the tape from all the way around the, I don't know if that's part of the sole, but it comes up and around. I don't know what it's called. I bet there's a name for it. The curb of the shoe. It's the part that keeps your foot from getting wet in a canvas shoe. So then I decided to use some acrylic markers, my Posca pins, to just draw around some of the shapes just to make it more dynamic. And I used a white and then like a light blue, and I stopped after that. I didn't go in with any other colors. I thought about it, and then I thought, you know what? These are good. These look good. So I went around some of the circles, I went around some of the words, some of the long dash areas, just wherever I felt like it. Completely intuitive, not worrying about anything or fussing about anything. I also used the white to make a few little paint splatters by just flicking the marker. And this was a lot of fun. I think that these shoes are really cute and funny, and I don't know. I guess at some point I'll tell you if he liked them or not. I haven't given them to him yet at this point. Gonna drive up to his school tomorrow and take him out to eat and go do something, and then I'll give him the shoes for his birthday. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I think you should give it a try. I think we all should have crazy shoes to wear as artists. I think that makes us stand out from the crowd. So if you did like it, please remember to give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment so I know that you were here. Turn on your notification bell so that YouTube knows that my videos are interesting and people want to watch them. And of course, share if you want to. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.